What is up, YouTube? James Biggie here, and I want to make a rant video that's going to kind of connect to my other channel a little bit, in that my other YouTube channel, for those who don't know, is a Magic the Gathering centric channel, because I play Magic the Gathering a lot. Not really a lot, but I have been playing a long time. I don't play a lot because of my work schedule, but anyway, I want to do a little bit of a vlog for it, and I'm doing a vlog specifically for that channel. That'll be more inside baseball sort of topic about Magic the Gathering. It'll be more for the folks that are very established and know what I'm talking about the game and whatnot. This channel, I want to make a little just base vlog sort of thing. I'm headed to the gaming store now. I got my stuff with me. I also have a Redbox movie. I got to return to the Redbox, Power Rangers, which is actually surprisingly an entertaining movie. I mean, it didn't have a great bit of substance or anything outstanding about it, but it was a fun movie to watch. Anyway, I'm headed to the game store now, and I want to talk about hobbies. I am a dude who has had many hobbies throughout my life, and have been a collector of things on and off since I was like 3 or 4 years old. I started when my dad started buying me baseball cards back when I was seriously like 3, because I grew up playing baseball, and I love baseball still to this day. It's one of my favorite things to watch. I follow very closely the Cleveland Indians, who's my favorite team. Every now and then I get to go to some ball games. I'm near Tampa, so we get to go to St. Petersburg and watch the Rays play. It's generally pretty cheap because the Rays attendance is shitty. Anyway, my dad bought me some baseball cards when I was very young. I then really kind of took to the idea of, oh, this is a thing that I have to keep in good condition and care about and collect and get more of and hoard, kind of, because there's this sense of value about it. Obviously, if you know baseball cards, you know that market kind of died in the 90s. There's still a small, tiny market for baseball cards, but it's not nearly what it once was in the early to mid 90s. But that kind of sparked this whole collector hobbyist thing in me. The next hobby that I had for some time, and I still have to this day, that I carried throughout my whole life on and off, is comic books. I collect, I read comics. I started very young. Me and my best friend Alex, back when we were kids, like I was 10, he was about 8, used to walk over to a comic store that was nearby the neighborhood where I lived with my grandma briefly as a kid. And we used to walk up to this comic store because they had an entire room inside of it that had just boxes and boxes and boxes of comics that were 19 cents each, regardless of what they were. And they were very poorly sorted, so every now and then you'd find a gem in there and be like, yeah, this is a good, issue or whatever, this is worth something, or this is something I've really been wanting to read, I'll pick it up for 19 cents, that's a great deal or whatever. So I collected comics, started probably when I was like around 6 or 7, and carried on through like my early teens when I was like 13, 14, and then kind of stopped. The thing that stopped the comics really was the fact that a lot of the local comic book stores were closing up and going out of business, and I sort of got more into, like, as I got older, toward high school age, got more into hanging out with other friends and skateboarding, which was a very brief hobby I had. Playing guitar, another very short-lived hobby that I had, both of which I did for a year or 2 at the most. Guitar, I picked up guitar at around like 13, and bass, coincidentally, and I played both for a couple years moderately consistently, but then I would put it down, mostly out of laze, or sort of I was trying to teach myself and not really advancing at a rate that I felt like I was comfortable with. Like, I wasn't learning as much as I could have, and I never was one to like ask for lessons or to try to get my parents to buy me lessons, because it just didn't mean enough to me to ask for lessons or to try to pursue it or get better or improve it in any sort of meaningful way. I still own my first guitar and my first bass and another acoustic guitar, and they sit in my garage, and I haven't really touched them. Every now and then, if I'm out somewhere and a friend has a guitar, I'll pick it up and dick around on it and play like the 3 songs I still remember or whatever. But never became a major hobby of mine. Magic the Gathering was a hobby that I had for a few years. Started playing when I was around 12, 13, 14, and played up until I graduated high school, and then quit for 12 years, and then started back up when I was like 28. About 28-ish, about 15 or 12 or 15, 12 years later. But anyway, that's a hobby that is like my current obsession, and it probably will be for a long time. Those who play Magic the Gathering take it real seriously and put a lot of effort into it, and I have a whole YouTube channel about it. And it's what started this YouTube channel, kind of, because I just wanted to make some videos that weren't talking about Magic. So that is a hobby I'm going to play tonight. I have this backpack here with my decks ready to go. It's something I'm going to be doing, and there will be a video up on my other channel, probably, maybe, about it. I don't know. About tonight specifically. I don't know. But, skateboarding, another brief one I just mentioned. I bought a skateboard when I was like 12, 13, skated for like a year and a half, 2 years or so, and I got hit by a car when I was 14 and shattered my ankle, and ever since I haven't really been comfortable stepping back on a skateboard. And it's totally unrelated. I didn't get hit by a car while skating. I was being a pedestrian and crossing the street and got hit by a car, but it just like I feel like I lost it. Skateboarding is one of those talents and one of those skills that you have to keep doing. It's not like riding a bike. You do forget, you do lose some of that talent. And I was never naturally talented at skateboarding anyway, or that good, because I'm a big fucking dude, and big fucking dudes fall really hard, and the falling hurt a lot. So I was never fully, I said fully twice, that's stupid. I was never 100% comfortable on a skateboard to where I felt confident in learning tricks and stuff like that. So I learned a couple tricks, and then kind of, after I got hit by a car, it kind of got put down for a while. Another hobby that I had for some time, or actually, I guess not even really a hobby. I have a couple random collections. I kind of happen to have a statue collection of like generally comic book character related statues that vary in size from kind of small to large or whatever. And a lot of those were gifted to me, so I don't actively collect that way. So I wouldn't really call that a hobby. I just happen to have some Pops vinyl figures. I have a bunch of, but again, I don't call that a hobby really. It's not like I'm going out to buy Pops all the time. But anyway, I just wanted to make a video just discussing how many hobbies I have and how much I've been into collecting stuff. By the way, I got back into comic books later on in life again, back when I was probably 25-ish, 24-ish. I started collecting comic books again, and I still do. Not as much as I was before. I was picking up books every single week, and I had a stack like this of issues of my subscription at my local comic book store. Shout out to Yancey Street Comics, the best comic book store in Florida, hands down. Awesome people. One of my very, very good friends that I met through that comic store, Brittany, is one of my favorite people on earth. I love her to death. She's good people. So shout out to them. I cut down my pull list after Marvel and DC books started getting kind of real stale and boring, and they haven't been great for a bit. And so instead of going every single week to pick up a stack of books this thick, I go like every 3 or 4 weeks and catch up and pick up my stack of books like that thick, you know. So I'm really tapered down on the picking up books, but I still have and collect and buy semi-expensive comic books every now and then when it comes up, when the opportunity arises. I'm a big Spider-Man fan, so I have a fair amount of decently expensive Spider-Man comics that are important issues in the history of Spider-Man himself. But yeah, aside from that, like, it's hard to keep and maintain hobbies for a long time when you're really, really busy, and I've been nothing but busy lately tattooing. So I try to keep up when I can. Right now, Magic is the one that I've been at for the last few years again, and it's been really fun, and it is a struggle to keep up with, but I find ways to get the fulfillment I need out of it. Being the YouTube thing, going out and playing when I'm able to. I've taken a couple Saturdays off or weekends off of work to go to bigger tournaments, which I know that every time I do that, I'm missing out on potentially a lot of money and actually spending money, so I'm actually putting myself kind of in a hole monetarily, but not in a sense that I can't pay my bills if I go, but just that I will have less money than I would have had I not gone. But I always find it to be worth it. So if you can't find time to do something you love, you got to make the time, and that's what I have to do now and what I've been trying to do now. Outside of that, I mean, that's kind of all I got. Like, tattooing and having a busy life as a tattooer, it's hard to cater to your hobbies, but it's important to me, and I appreciate the fact that I have a privileged life where I get to have these silly hobbies, like playing a game that I started playing when I was like 13, and I get to take it fairly seriously and spend some money on it and have a blast with it when I do, and it's always absolutely worth it. So I'm kind of pulling into the game store here in the local mall. So that's all I have for this specific ranty vloggy thing. I got hobbies, man. I like hobbies. I enjoy doing the things that I love. And actually, let me back out. I'm gonna park elsewhere so I'm actually closer to the door, because I don't like leaving my car here. The game store is at a mall, and I don't want to leave my car in the back of this mall where I can't see it from like the back door over there. But yeah, it's important to have hobbies. It's important to live your life in a way where it's not just work. You gotta take the time and do something to fulfill your sense of enjoyment. And that's what the whole general basis of this little rant on my drive to the game store is about. That's all I got. What are some hobbies that some of you may have? What's some stuff that you're into? I know some of you have ported over to this channel from my Magic channel. So Magic the Gathering, obviously, for a handful of you, is going to be your hobby or whatever. But what's some other stuff you're into? I'm interested in hearing about it, talking about it. So definitely comment down below. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll put a picture of my face up here that you can click on to get signed up and subscribe and see whenever I post another video. And I thought this was going to be a bit interesting of a topic compared to the last couple videos. I've been more serious in subject matter. But that's all I got. I'll talk to you guys soon. Like I said, subscribe up here, and I will see you next time.